Hello, football fans, and welcome to Convoy, Ohio, and Knights Field, home of the Crestview Knights, hosting the Aces in tonight's high school football game, week number 2 of the campaign. Aces coming into the game with an 0-1 record after being waylaid by the Archbold Blue Streaks in week number 1. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television. Brian Williams running the camera tonight, and we are glad to have made the trip down to Crestview. I'm a little out of breath because I was over on the other side of the field talking with Mr. Kohlmeyer from the band to let him know that I wasn't going to be able to help out with the field announcing for the band show tonight because Brian and I have been located in the auxiliary press box. The main press box is a really nice facility here at Knights Field, but it is not very large, and it's filled to capacity with some other media outlets tonight. So they have a standby auxiliary press box for just such an occasion, and that is where we are located. So we're sort of like on the 20-yard line. Aces won the toss but deferred, so they kick it off. Ball is caught on a quick hop by number 33, Brody Brecht, for the Crestview Knights. And at the 48-yard line is where Crestview will set up this initial offensive drive. So back to what I was saying, we're in the auxiliary press box. So our camera location is not midfield as it normally would be. We're down about the 20-25-yard line. But we have a pretty good field of view, so we should be able to bring most of the action to you. Brian may have to work on zooming the lens in and out a little bit, but we should be able to have a pretty good view. Really nice facility. We want to say a huge thank you to the Crestview Athletic Department, making us feel very, very welcome. I think they're even going to feed us at halftime, so can't complain about that. Quick snap, drop back, number 33, working as the quarterback tonight. Overthrows his intended receiver. Number 33 is, again, Brody Brecht. Their regular starting quarterback is number 2, Caden Short. Caden is a senior, but he is not dressed tonight. He's on the sidelines with his leg in a walking cast. So injury preventing him from starting this evening. So Brecht has stepped up to take over. Brecht normally a running back. He'll work out of the shotgun, puts a man in motion, takes a snap. He's going to hang on to it himself, working his way through traffic, and a strong run close to first down yardage for Brecht. He'll get it down to the Aces 38-yard line, and that will indeed move the chains. First down, Crestview. The Aces do not want a repeat of what happened to them last week, where they wound up getting into a pretty deep scoring hole early and were just never able to claw their way back, getting shut out by the Blue Streaks. Like to shake that one off and get back on the winning track tonight. They meet him in the backfield, and they're going to drop him for a loss. The Aces sniff that one out. Good defense. And that'll drop him back a yard, so that'll make it 2nd and 11. It's kind of a questionable night. That it's really very comfortable. It's a nice, cool night. There's a gentle breeze blowing. It's cloudy and overcast. It looks like it might be thinking about blowing up a rain. We'll wait and see if anything like that happens as we move through the evening. Of course, we've been here in Crestview before where there have been some big downpours with thunder and lightning, but we'll hopefully avoid that tonight. 2nd and 11. Balzer looking for something, scrambling for his life. They're going to wrap him up and take him down back at the 40-yard line. Another good play for another loss. So Bergman managed to race him down, and a good tackle from Bergman as he wraps him up, and they actually say his knee touched at the 41-yard line, so that'll add an extra yard to it. I thought he dropped him for a loss of 2, but that's 3 yards back now for 3rd and 13. So 3rd and long for the Knights. They'll bring in the play. Dalton Castle, number 30, the tight end, runs in from the sideline. Knights are coached by Jared Owens. And, of course, the Aces coached by Lucas Smith. And that's not going to be much of anything, and the Knights are going to have to punt as they manage to advance back to about the 38-yard line, which is just about just a little past the original line of scrimmage. So Brecht, on the quarterback keeper, gets 4, but that leaves him with a 4th and 9. They're on their half of the field, so we'll see what they decide to do here. They're going to take their time, play clock down 15 seconds. This is a really nice facility, too. They have play clocks that you can watch for people announcing games, and I think they have the head official mic'd up so we can hear the calls. So just a really, really nice facility they have down here in Crestview. And timeout. So Crestview is going to work the play clock down and the game clock down to 9:03 and call their first timeout of the half. It's decision time here. They've got a 4th and long, but they are at the Aces 38-yard line or 37-yard line. So if they try to make this 4th down play and they fail, the ball is going to be somewhere between the 28-yard line and the 37-yard line, which is really about the average starting position on a kickoff usually. If they make it, great. But if they are going to go for it here, I would imagine they're probably going to keep it on the ground because you would not want to run the risk of an incomplete pass. That would give the Aces the best possible field position, or an interception could be even worse. They're going to go for it. Brecht is going to put it in the air. He's got a man open, and it's broken up nicely. Brody Balzer got in between the football and the intended receiver, Caleb Pruitt. So he breaks up the play. It's incomplete, and the Aces will take over on down, 1st and 10 on their own 37. I thought for sure they would at least keep it on the ground and try to get some yards, move the Aces back a little bit if they didn't get all 9. But those things, those are the decisions, that's why I'm up here talking on the microphone and I'm not down on the field coaching. Aces' first offensive look at the ball tonight. Jake Miller working in the shotgun. Comiso out in front of him. Miller tried to tuck it over. Excuse me. Miller tried to tuck it in and take off running. Nothing doing. He gets wrapped up and taken down for a big loss by the Knights. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 19. Miller looking downfield. Quick release. Off the hands of Comiso. Incomplete. That'll make it 3rd and 19. Excuse me, that was number 13, Berkman, that dropped the catch. Clock stops on the incomplete pass. 8:33 to go in our opening quarter. And the Aces with a 3rd and very long. Jake Miller working the shotgun. Going to hang on to it. Miller's going to take off. Miller, a good strong run. He's powering forward. He's not going to make the 1st down yardage, but he got it so the punting team can really pin him back deep. So Miller gets 13 of the 19 that they needed. They're going no huddle, and they're going to go for it on 4th and 5. So the Aces rolling the dice here and hoping for some luck. Or maybe they're going to see if they can get him to jump. Nope. High snap, handoff, Comiso. I don't think he got it. It looks like Comiso got him out to about the 45-yard line. So they needed 5. Comiso got him almost 3. And they'll turn it over on downs, and it'll be the Knights now with a 1st and 10 at the Aces 45-yard line. Again, not to second-guess the coaching staff, but I still would have been tempted to put the boot on that one and punt it down deep. And another, well, so far this has been a defensive showcase here, as neither offense has been able to get much going, but the defenses on both sides of the football have shown, as the Aces have been dropping the Knights for losses fairly consistently here, and this time they knock them back 7 more yards to make it 2nd and 17 for the Crestview Knights. Breck puts the ball in the air. Again, he's got a man open. It overthrows both the receiver and the defender. Baird was the Aces defender, and if Kyler had turned around maybe a half a second more and saw that ball, he might have been able to change his course a little bit, and he might have stood a chance of being able to pick up an interception. But as it was, ball falls to the turf, incomplete, and that makes it 3rd and 17 for the Knights. 7 minutes exactly on our first quarter clock. Again, glad to be here at Convoy Crestview High School on this Friday night for week number 2 of the high school football campaign. That's a quarterback keeper for Brody Brecht, and Brecht will get up to about the 49-yard line of the Aces. It'll pick up of about 3 to make it 4th down and 14. So again, decision time, 4th and 14. And maybe they don't have anybody that can punt the football. I'm not sure. But they're going to throw out 4 wide receivers, and they are going to punt. And it is a low lobber that is going to roll into the end zone. I think what they were hoping there was that with all the movement and all the confusion, the Aces were going to think they were going to try to go for it, and then they could punt it down there and send their special teams running down, and the Aces wouldn't have dropped anybody back, so they'd have a chance of maybe pinning that ball deep inside the 10 or something. Didn't work, but still they get the Aces back to the 20-yard line where Hicksville will take over, 1st and 10. Hey, I want to say a big thank you to our football broadcast underwriters making our coverage on the road here at Crestview tonight possible. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships and Community Memorial Hospital, both in Hicksville, Ohio. I want to thank them both so very much for their continued support of our Aces Sports broadcast. Jake Miller working out of the shotgun again. Comiso, the split back beside him. High snap. Miller handles it, pitches it out. Comiso gets around the corner. Comiso moves ahead, and that'll be 1st down yardage across the 30-yard line to the 31. Started to lose his footing near the end. I think somebody might have got a hand on one of his shoelaces, and he dives forward, though, for a pickup of 11. Second play of the drive. Comiso gets into the line, checks the side. Another handoff onto the inside, and they'll battle forward near the 35-yard line. Looks like about the 34. Comiso will pick up about 3. They'll make it 2nd and 7.
Picks up 3 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Three wide receivers out for the Aces. And they're going to put it into the air, and it's caught. And that's going to be 6 points for Hicksville. into the end zone. I'm checking. I don't see any yellow flags on the field. My cameraman is shaking his head. He doesn't either. So that'll be touchdown Aces. So Turnbull, Landon Turnbull, drags in that catch, and he lopes into the end zone 66 yards, I think.
Aces line up for the 2-point try.
And they're going to go for 2 here. Miller looking, going to alley-oop it into the corner, no good.
Miller's pass
And that was intended for Bergman. And Bergman, of course, has got nice height for a receiver as Jackson stands 6'6". So he's a good guy to do those alley-oop passes to because he can jump up. He's a basketball player, and he got one hand on it, just not quite able to corral the ball. So the 2-point conversion is unsuccessful, but the Aces still take the lead 6-0 with 5:05 to go in the first quarter. You got to feel pretty good, too, because that's the first time in the regular season the Aces have been ahead in a game. They never scored last week. So, again, nothing would suit them better than being able to shake off that ugly loss in week number 1 and put a W on the board here tonight. Of course, this is a non-conference game. The Aces' first 3, actually they have 4 non-conference games this season, but traditionally their first 3 are all non-conference matchups against Archbold, Crestview, and then next week they will be hosting Eden.
Number 4, Jacob Miller prepares to kick off for the Aces. Back deep to the Knights.
So it looks like Miller is going to be kicking tonight instead of Tunis, or at least for this one. And we'll see if we're going to see another squib kick and see if the Aces can luck out and get the ball back. And it'll be a one hop. It's on the turf, and the Knights just fall on it. Didn't get a lot of action with the ball bouncing around, so not as good an opportunity to maybe recover a fumble or be able to get the ball after it travels 10 yards. But still did its job, and the Knights fall on the ball at the 33-yard line on their half of the field, and that's where they'll set up shop, 1st and 10. Brody Brecht keeps it himself. Brecht going around to the far side. And a nice gain. He's forced out of bounds. A pickup of about 9. So Brecht, a good strong run on the first down play, gets him 9. 2nd and 1 for Crestview as they break huddle. Aces defense matching up. And that's going to be first down yardage and a little bit more. As Brecht, another strong carry as he gets across the midfield. And they'll get into the Aces half of the field. Ball at the 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Crestview looking to answer the Aces scoring drive with one of their own. Brecht, 2 running backs on either side of him. Brecht, that time, oh, he fooled me. I thought he still had the ball. He handed it off, and he'll advance out to the 30-yard line. A strong run and a good misdirection play. Fooled the announcer. Fooled the cameraman, too. So I'll carry the ball down to the Aces' 36-yard line. Another first down and a strong offensive series here for the Crestview Knights. tries to get over to the side, and they're going to bottle him up this time. They take him into the sideline, and I see that the flagged men on the other side goes down. Half of the Aces standing on the sidelines go down. There are people flying all over the place down there. Only a 1-yard gain as they take him down on the far sideline. 2nd and 9. Ball advances to the 35-yard line. Breck again is going to hang on to it himself. And again, he's going to be taken down, and that time he's going to, well, they're going to give him forward progress back to about the original line of scrimmage. So no gain there. 3rd and 9 now as the nose of the football remains on the 35-yard line. Brody Breck breaks huddle. And again, Breck pitches out this time. And the Aces are waiting for that one, too. Ball carrier was Logan Garrido.
Picks up 4 on the play.
And he has a gain of 4, so that'll bring up 4th down and about 5 for the Knights.
Bring up 4th and 5 for the Knights.
So most likely 4-down territory for Crestview based on what we've seen so far. But we'll see what they come up with. They'll bring in the play. Castle runs it in from the sideline. Crestview breaks huddle. Brecht. And there's movement.
Flag on the field.
Dead ball. Ball start on the offense, number 14. 4th down.
So number 14 called for the false start. That'll back him up 5, and that 4th and 5 now becomes 4th and 10.
With the penalty, that's going to bring up 4th and 10 for the Knights.
So we'll see if that's going to be a change in their strategy. As again, they'll bring the play in. Under 2 minutes to go here in our opening quarter. Aces leading 6-0. Looking to put a stop on the Crestview Knights with this play. Brecht in trouble. He slips on the turf and falls down, and the Aces are going to touch him down at about the 44-yard line.
Ian Groupman. Loss of 8 on the play.
So Brody Brecht drops back to try to make something happen on a 4th and 10. His foot slips out from underneath him. He winds up losing 8 yards, and the Aces take over on downs, 1st and 10, on their own 44-yard line. So here comes Hicksville. See if they can punch another one in here. Minute 37 to go in our opening quarter. Week number 2 of the high school football season here on HIX-TV. Glad to have you with us. Jake Miller, Comiso in motion. Miller pitches out to Comiso. Comiso looking to turn the corner, and he's going to get wrapped up and drop for a loss.
On the backfield by number 34, Logan Gerardo.
Comiso tried to reverse his field, but Gerardo got him around the ankles and brings him down for about a 2-yard loss. Well, maybe 4 yards make that. Again, our perspective is a little bit skewed because we're down at the 20-yard line instead of where we usually are midfield. Dropping back, Miller's in trouble, looking to make something happen. Jake's going to hang on to the ball now and take off running up the sideline.
Miller on the keeper around the far side, forced out of bounds.
And it looks like he's going to get some positive yardage. Not a lot, but he turns the corner and gets out near. Let's see where they're going to mark it here.
Legal blindside block, 51 of the offense.
Oh, no, never mind.
2nd down.
Personal foul with a blindside block on the offense. That's going to back him up 15. So their 2nd and 14 is going to become 2nd and a quarter mile.
That'll be a 19-yard loss for the Aces.
So
second and 33.
with the spot foul backing up, that's 2nd and 33 now as the ball goes all the way back to the Hicksville 21-yard line. At least it's 2nd down. Aces will break huddle. And here we go. Miller puts a man in motion. Quick handoff. Straight up the middle and still on his feet. Working his way through traffic. He's broken free. It's going to be a foot race. Will they be able to catch him? And they do, but not before Cole Wertman motors down.
Excuse me, that was number 24, Cole Wertman. Finally brought down
And he's
by number
brought down
14,
by
Caleb
right around the 10-yard line, it looks like.
69-yard gain for the Aces.
So he runs for almost 70 yards. As Workman puts an exclamation point. They go down to the 14-yard line, 1st and 10. Aces comfortably in the red zone. Miller, Comiso, the split back beside him. Hands it to Comiso. Comiso straight ahead, dives forward.
Thomas, the ball carrier, brought down by number 33, Brody Brecht.
Brecht got a hold of him and brought him down.
6-yard gain on the play. That'll bring up
And
2nd
that'll
and 4.
make it 2nd and 4 from the 8-yard line. And that
That'll bring it in
will
to
be the
first
end
phase of play.
of the first quarter.
Your score,
So the Aces looking a lot better tonight than they did in week number 1. And they are getting the job done so far. Some great defensive plays. Got to give credit on both sides of the ball with that, though, too. Some nice defensive plays from Crestview as well. But the offense has been on the Aces' side as they've scored 1, and they're knocking on the door for possibly a second score when we resume in the second quarter. Here between quarters, I want to take a little time to say a big thank you to our football broadcast underwriters, making our coverage, especially on the road, possible. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, the Jim Schmidt Truck Lot. You can check out the complete dealer inventory and find out all the things happening at Jim Schmidt online at jimschmidtauto.com. And stay tuned because we'll keep you updated. They got the new dealership in the works, and we'll let you know as information becomes available, but that's something to look forward to. And Community Memorial Hospital of Hicksville, Ohio, proudly serving the Hicksville area's healthcare needs for over 65 years. They'd love to show you what they can do to help you and your family live a better, healthier life. Find out more, and don't forget they've got their health fair coming up mid-October. Find out more on their website, www.cmhosp.com. I want to thank both Community Memorial Hospital and the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, for their continued underwriting support of Aces Sports broadcasts on HIX-TV. Here we go, 2nd and 4 on their own 8-yard line. Miller spin move, and he runs right into traffic. I don't think he got any kind of a gain on that. So Turner actually, he actually lost the yard. So 3rd and 5 now as they move it back. Miller in trouble, dumps it off, ball's caught, diving forward, I don't know. Comiso made the grab, dive forward. It's going to be close, but I don't know if he made it to the sticks or not. So it'll be 4th and 1 from about the 4-yard line. And they're going to back that off as the Aces again have the false start called. They had a huge number of false starts called against them in the Jamboree scrimmage against Fort Recovery. They improved a lot, but they still suffered from that bugaboo a little bit in week number 1, and it bites them again here. Now they've got a 4th and 6 rather than a 4th and 1, and the ball's back out to just inside the 10-yard line. Miller's in trouble, and he's going to be dropped back at about the 20-yard line, 21-yard line. So nothing doing there as the Crestview Knights put together a nice defensive answer. And they take over on downs now, 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. So it could have been worse for the Aces, but turning the ball over on the 20 is not bad at all. 10:44 to go in the first half. Brecht pitches out. Pickup of about 3, maybe 4 yards. Caleb Pruitt. Pick up a 3 to make it 2nd and 7. Again, the Knights will bring in the play from the sideline. Aces will face off on defense. Pitch out, again to Pruitt. And again, Pruitt will squirt forward, maybe get a yard. Tried to cut back, went down low, but still not much there. Pruitt gets out to about the 24, will make it 3rd and 6. Clock continuing to run here. And what has been, for the most part, pretty quick moving first half. Brecht, quarterback keeper, out to about the 27-yard line. That'll make it a 4th and 3. And they're switching personnel now, so it looks like they are going to probably want to punt it away here. Too far deep in their own territory to risk turning it over on downs here. So Comiso will be the deep man for the Aces. Brecht kicks it. And it's going to roll dead, and they're going to stop it right around the, looks like about the 40-yard line. So Hicksville will get the ball at their own 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Back on offense with 8 minutes and 28 seconds to work with here in this first half. As the clouds are looking like they're thickening up a little bit, but still no rain, just kind of cool. And, here now, as soon as I said that, got a light misty drizzle that has started. So, at least we're inside. Got a nice overhang to protect the camera, it looks like. Ball carried by Comiso. And got a nice game. So Comiso gets some 8 on the first run. Miller with the snap. Again, a quick handoff to the inside. Nothing doing there, and that'll be So no gain on the play, 3rd and 3 for the Aces. Miller gets the snap, looking to throw, puts it in the air, caught. Turnbull makes the grab. Oh, no, they're going to say he didn't. Okay, he had his back to us, so he couldn't really tell. I thought he made the catch and said, nope, he trapped the ball. So it's going to be 4th and 3 from the 47. And Miller's going to drop back to punt. Or excuse me, Wortman is going to drop back to punt.
Number 14, Caleb Pruitt.
Puts the ball into the air, and it's going to go well into the end zone. Pruitt was the deep man and went over his head by about 5 yards and goes into the end zone. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line for the Knights to set up shop.
That's a net 33-yard punt for the Aces. And the Knights will have 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for the Crestview Knights. 7:26 to go in our first quarter. That was turned out to be a kind of a drizzly night. The lights are on here at Knights Field. Brecht under center. Pitches it out. That's Pruitt. And Pruitt is going to be corralled by Langham and brought down. And Pruitt is injured. So Pruitt gets a couple of yards, and he goes down holding his leg. Aces will go to the far side of the field, and the team trainers will come out to take a look at Caleb Pruitt. And so with 7:18 left to go, we'll take a break. Again, a thank you to our broadcast underwriters making our coverage possible here from Knights Field in Crestview, Ohio. Oh, they're going to get him up, so we don't need to step aside. We'll still say thank you to Community Memorial Hospital and the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships. Pruitt's not happy about that. He has to come out for at least one play.
2-yard pickup on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 when play resumes.
So they'll get everybody cleared up off the field. Aces defense will come back on. Knights will be looking at a 2nd and 8 when play resumes. Number 12, Nick Helt out there for the Crestview Knights. Helt is 5'5". One of the shortest guys out there on the field. Carry and brought down at about the 25-yard line.
Number 53, Mason Slattery.
So Brecht hangs onto the ball himself, and he gets halfway to the first down marker. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Knights. And all kinds of movement and a flag with a false start, and that'll back him up 5. I'm not sure who moved first, but it was about 3 guys for Crestview that started just a little bit before they snapped the ball, so. Brecht gets rid of it just in the nick of time. He gets hit right as he throws, and that was just enough. The ball overshot the intended receiver to bring up 4th down.
That's going to bring up 4th and 10 for the Knights.
So it'll be 4th and 10 from their own 20, and I'm sure that, Brecht's already dropping back to pass. They're not going to try to conceal this in any way, shape, or form. So the Aces looking at maybe some good field position. Comiso's going to drop back deep.
Back deep for the Knights to punt.
Comiso's back at about the 50-yard line.
Mason Comiso.
Brecht puts it on a line, and Comiso grabs it on a bounce, turns around and starts heading upfield, and he'll get forced out of bounds shy of the 50-yard line. Looks like about the 46, 47.
Aces will have 1st and 10 on their own 47-yard line.
So sort of a low-line drive that bounced in front of Comiso. He ran back, scooped it up, and then turned and headed upfield. Gets back to the 47-yard line before they force him out of bounds. As the rain starting to pick up in intensity a little bit here. Miller. And that'll be another 5 on the Aces as the hard snap count got the wrong guys to move.
With the penalty, that's going to bring up
So 1st and 15 now, and they'll move it back to the 42-yard line for the Aces. Miller, high snap, hangs on to it. Miller, quarterback keeper, around the corner. Miller on the sideline. Miller still on the field. Miller off to the races, into the end zone, touchdown. And I don't see any flags on the field, so the score should stand. As the Aces go up 12-0. As Jake Miller goes about 60 yards. It's like technically 57, I don't know, 58 yards. But he gets into the end zone, 5:32 to go. Ace is going to go for 2. Miller, and it's knocked away, incomplete. So again, the 2-point conversion fails, and the score will remain 12-0 Hicksville with 5:32 left to go in our opening half. So the Aces up by 2 scores now over the Crestview Knights. And Crestview's time is running out for them to try to at least get a little bit closer before they head into the halftime locker room. The Crestview Knights marching band and the Hicksville Aces marching bands, both here tonight. Not sure if we're going to be able to have the halftime shows or not. We'll see how the camera angles work out or how well the microphone picks it up. So we'll see whether we get that on. If when you're watching this on HIX-TV, it goes pretty much right from the first half to the second half, you'll know that for whatever reason the halftime show just did not work out for us down here at Crestview. So Jake Miller is going to do the kicking for the Aces once again. We'll get everybody out there on the field. Miller, low one, squibs it along, and it's going to be pretty good field position. So it was number 15, Lichtensteiger, that fell on the ball. And that's going to give Crestview some pretty decent field position, actually. As with the rain falling, the grass getting wet, the ball sometimes will scoot along like it's been lubricated, and other times the wet grass will slow the ball down and it won't travel quite as quickly or as far. Brecht in the shotgun for the Knights. Long count, here's the snap. Brecht dropping back, puts the ball in the air, he's got a man open, and it looks to be caught on the far sideline, and he's out of bounds, incomplete. So the Aces fans can leave out a collective sigh of relief because that was a nice catch, but evidently came down out of bounds. That'll make it 2nd and 10. Clock stops on the incomplete pass. We haven't had that happen too many times tonight, so I said this first half has moved right along time-wise. And we've got stoppage of play as they whistle. And Crestview, evidently they saw something they didn't like, or there was something about the way that play was setting itself up that the coaches didn't like. But either way, they call the timeout. That's their second. They only can stop the clock one more time here in the last 5 minutes, 22 seconds. Aces have taken no timeouts. They really haven't needed to because they've been playing pretty well. Offense and defense have been going pretty much according to plan. Again, week number 2, the Aces looking to draw even their record to 500 after taking an ugly loss at the hands of the Archbold Blue Streaks in week number 1. And looking forward to week number 3, the Aces will be headed back to the friendly confines of Aces Field. So they'll play host to Eden in the third non-conference game of the season. Second and 10 for the Knights. Brecht gets the snap, rolling out, looking to turn the corner, and he does. Finally gets tangled up and taken down, but he'll keep the clock rolling. Miller was the one who got him, but not before Brecht gets him 9 yards to make it 3rd and 1. So 3rd and 1, and they try to power it right up the middle. We'll see whether they made it or not. This is going to depend on the spot of the ball. Head official's going to eyeball it, and we'll see whether we're going to get a first down or a measurement. We're going to get a measurement.
Going to have a official's timeout while they...
So the ball is down, and they're going to bring out the sticks for a measurement. They'll bring out the chain gang, and we'll see. From my angle, it looks like they might be just a little bit short, but could be wishful thinking on my part. And we'll see when they stretch that chain out. I think that they're going to be short, and they are.
Knights are going to have 4th down and about a...
So it'll be 4th and inches for the Crestview Knights. 4:28 to go. I'm sure that they're going to go for it. The Aces half of the field. And they're down by 2 scores, so, and only 4.5 minutes left here in the half. Knights will break huddle. Brecht. Castle, the running back beside him. He's going to hang on to it himself. That should be good enough for the first down. His nice spin move, and he takes off down the sideline. So Brecht not only gets him the 18 inches that they need for the first down, but a nice spin move, and he gets some good positive yardage. He'll pick up over 10. That'll make him down to the 32-yard line, so that makes it an 11-yard pickup for Brecht. First and 10 for the Crestview Knights at the Aces' 32-yard line. Brecht heading towards the middle of the field and into a wall of white jerseys. He'll fall forward to gain a few yards. But the Aces defense, a good job identifying the ball carrier on that play, and then they all just collapsed in on him. Still, Brecht manages to power forward for about 4 yards, gets down to the 28. Second down, manageable 6 for the Crestview Knights. Brecht misses the snap, and he has to fall on it behind the line of scrimmage back around the 36-yard line. You don't want to see that happen. That's going to be about an 8-yard loss for Crestview as the snap just went wide of Brecht. And that's the sort of thing you see when you got a wet ball. So officially they're going to say a loss of 7, and they'll put the ball on the 35-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 13, so a bit of a break for the Aces. Clock continues to roll. We're under 3 minutes to go here in our opening half. Brecht hands it off. Number 14 knocked out of bounds. Pruitt. But there are multiple yellow flags on the field. So we'll see what this is and who it's going to be penalizing here. Pruitt had a good run. And that's why he had a good run. Holding on the offense. Backs him up 15 from the spot of the foul. And they'll put the ball down at the 41-yard line, and that'll move them way back. 3rd and 19 now. See some Knights fans chewing on their blankets in a little frustration here. The umbrellas are out here at Knights Field. As again, we've got kind of a sprinkly, drizzly kind of rain falling on us right now. Well, not us. We're a nice, warm, comfortable press box. And there'll be another stoppage of play on that one. And looks like another false start. Yep. I thought I saw somebody jump on the line there right before the snap. So they're going to reset the game clock. They're going to add a second. It'll go from 2:36 to 2:37. With the 5-yard penalty, it'll be now 3rd and 24 for Crestview. It's almost as painful as watching that Bears game on Thursday night. If you're a Bears fan. Ow. Jeez. Still on his feet. And finally brought down. Brecht kept the ball himself. Comiso forces him out of bounds to see how many yards he was able to pick up. He's well shy. So it's going to be 4th and 13. So he gained about 11 yards, but unfortunately he needed 24, so. So 4th and long as Brecht checks in at the sideline and goes into the huddle. Knights will break. And we're going to have the 3rd and final timeout of the half called by Crestview. They sent in a couple of new guys after the quarterback came into the huddle with the play from the sideline. And it just had that kind of a look when, I don't know how to explain it, but if you've ever been to a football game and you watch and you see a team break huddle and come to the line and you just know something bad is going to happen, it was like one of that, because as soon as they broke huddle, right away their coach just timeout and out onto the field. So timeout on the field. It's 2:28 to go here in our first half of play. Crestview with the ball. The Knights have a 4th and 13 staring them in the face from the Hicksville 35-yard line. The Aces are up 12-0. Like to preserve the shutout going into the halftime locker room. I'm Bill Murphy. Brian Williams is running the camera. We're glad to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here on Hicksville Community Television. Nice drive down here to Convoy. And really not a bad night for football. A little bit drizzly, but hey, it's football weather. New guy in for quarterback, number 22, and he throws it to Brecht, and Brecht goes into the end zone. So that was well done. They brought in Jaden Ward, number 22. Now Ward is one of the backup quarterbacks on the roster. He is just a sophomore, 6 feet, but he throws a perfect strike to Brody Brecht, and Brecht gets it into the end zone to cut the Aces lead in half. So a 35-yard pass and run into the end zone for Brody Brecht. And they're going to go for the single point, kicking the extra point. Their kicker is number 31, and it is good. That's Caden Kreischer kicking the PAT. So that might have an effect here as we move on through the game, as that makes the Aces lead only 5. 12-7. 2:20 left on the scoreboard here before halftime, and the Aces look to get the ball back and have one more offensive series before the intermission. So far, pretty good game of football here tonight, as these teams seem to be really pretty evenly matched and have been going back and forth. So far, you got to give a little bit of the edge to the Aces. They're ahead on the scoreboard, and they've been playing very, very well here tonight. But Crestview, I mean, this is their home field. They were reeling a little bit with their starting QB on the sideline, but they're starting to bounce back a little bit too. So they'll set for the kick. So Lichtensteiger is going to kick off this time.
Number 24, Cole Workman, back deep for the Aces.
So Lichtensteiger looks it over, puts his foot into it, scooped up and loose on the turf, but he finally gets a hold of it. And not much in the way of forward progress after grabbing the ball. But he doesn't lose it. He hangs on. So Balzer gets a 4-yard return after he scoops up the ball. That'll take the ball out to about the 25-yard line. First and 10, Hicksville. Miller gets the snap. He's in a world of trouble. Miller powering his way forward, and he just carries the ball forward as far as he can until he's stopped. And they'll bring him down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. That'll make it 2nd and 10. Taking their time on the play clock. Getting the play in. Ball snapped. Quarterback keeper. And Miller still on his feet. Miller finally gets ridden out of bounds. There's a flag thrown.
Miller around the near side.
And it looked like they might have got his face mask. He was running around the sideline, so I don't know whether it was an illegal block on the part of an ace or. Yeah. So Landon Turnbull, guilty of the hold.
14-yard pickup after the penalty for Miller. Here's the Aces 1st and 10
So
on their 39-yard line.
it was a long gain by Jake Miller. So fortunately, the 10 yards from the point of the foul still gives the Aces a first down. So they'll move the ball out to the 39-yard line. Minute 15 to go in this half. Clock is not moving right now as they get everything all situated. And now they'll start it back up again. Nothing doing there. So Baird can't make the catch. It'll be 2nd and 10. Minute 11 to go here. Get everybody set. Miller takes a snap, drops back, looking to throw again. Miller puts it in the air and broken up again. That was a good-looking throw. But Crestview's number 20, Ronte Jackson, got his hand in there and slapped it away. Incomplete. So 3rd and 10 now for the Aces. See if they're going to take another crack at it down the field. Can't really, like I said, the clock stops on the incomplete pass, so you don't get to run out the clock like you would with a running play, but that's all right. The Aces looking to strike again here. Miller powers it forward. That's going to get him some positive yardage. And he'll get about, looks like about 6 or 7 yards on the play. So 7-yard gain, 4th and 3. And again, working down, they may just take a timeout here. And, yep, that's what they do. They let the play clock go down to about 2 seconds. Take the timeout. 15.4 seconds. Clock kept running because of the running, kept going because of the running play. So they took down as much time as they possibly could. So whatever they decide to do with this 4th down, if they decide to punt it deep, that means that it's probably only going to have the Knights get the ball. They're going to only have like maybe, 12 seconds. Or do you do a running play and see if you can keep the play going for 15 seconds? Or, you only need to pick up 3 yards. Well, because of Coach Lucas Smith, that's what they're figuring out right now, how they want to go about this. The one thing for sure is they want to do everything possible to not allow Crestview to have any chance to get any more points before halftime. So here we go on the 4th down play. Wind picking up a little bit here. Miller launches it, and it'll be out of bounds, incomplete. So that's going to give the Knights 11.2 seconds to work with at the Aces' 46-yard line. So it's not over yet for the Crestview Knights. They don't have a lot of time, but we've already seen a couple of long scoring plays on both sides of the football. So you don't need a lot of time if you can get a 45-yard catch and run into the end zone. And again, they've brought on number 22, Jaden Ward, as the quarterback. Ward takes the snap, and the flags fly. guessing there was movement on the line. False start. Like I said, I saw a couple aces, but I didn't think anybody from Hicksville jumped into the neutral zone or made any contact. So they'll back them up 5, make it 1st and 15. Stays 11.3 seconds on the clock. Oh, 11.2. It's not only a game of inches, it's a game of tenths of seconds. There we go, 11.2 seconds to go. All right. See if Ward is going to stay in at QB. He's going to move up under center. Brecht. And they're just going to say the heck with that. So the Knights will take a knee, and that'll take us to halftime. Time expires, and we've reached the halfway point of our week number 2 football game. And at halftime, it's the Hicksville Aces leading the Crestview Knights 12-7, our halftime score. Well, we're going to step aside here because I'm not sure whether we're going to have any coverage for the halftime show or not. Either, if you're watching, either we're going to be resuming shortly with the second half, or we're going to have the bands entertaining at halftime. We'll see how that goes. We'll see what kind of camera angle and what kind of sound we can get from down here at the auxiliary press box on the 20-yard line. Either way, though, I want to thank you for joining us, and stay tuned because Brian and I are going to be back, and we're going to have all the exciting second half play-by-play action coming your way right here on HIX-TV.